A busy day today concerning Manchester United as Joshua ZIRKZEE reports at Carrington for day number 1 of training. I'll tell you what the plan is for him. Will he join his teammates in the United States? Meanwhile, WAN-BISSAKA is progressing. His departure to West Ham United must be happening before the end of this week. I'm going to give you some details about the talks going on between Man United and West Ham United. Well, Fulham United are contemplating returning to Manchester United with another bid for Scott McTOMINAY. What are the details of that bid? All that and more as I wrap up this busy day in Manchester. Well, welcome to the United Sport yet again. I remind you to like, share, subscribe to the United Sport as we get deeper into this Man United talk. Now, here is the latest story that concerns Man United just a few seconds ago, dropped by Ben Jacobs. He did say that more on WAN-BISSAKA and West Ham. Manchester United want at least £15 million. As revealed, West Ham value WAN-BISSAKA at over £10 million. So even 15 is over 10. So meaning the valuation is not really, the gap in valuation is not really bad. But here it goes to say the gap in valuation still, but talks are progressing. So that's the latest coming through concerning WAN-BISSAKA and his impending departure to West Ham, after which Man United is expected to go and seal Noussair Mazraoui. Well, that's the update concerning a crucial departure. But good news for a player who has arrived today. You probably want to see images of this young man, Joshua ZIRKZEE, on day 1. He is at Carrington already. He's in Manchester. Today he reported for training. He's not going to, according to what we get, he's not going to be going to the US of A to take part of in the preseason tour matches. The last 2 games, he may not go to take part in those. As he stays at Carrington to work on his fitness, he will rejoin the team when it returns to Carrington, according to what we get. That's the plan that the team has put in place for him. But that is him, Joshua ZIRKZEE, today when he reported to training. And of course, there's quite a number of people, including Steve McLaren, who is staying behind at Carrington to support the players returning from their holidays. So that's, of course, an image from today of Joshua ZIRKZEE at training at, of course, the Manchester United training facility. So that's what has happened. Now, the big one for today, the big story that I wanted to dwell on, I think that should be the biggest latest story is concerning the departure of Scott McTOMINAY. Of course, we know that there is lots of people out there who will be feeling that Scott McTOMINAY is not good enough to be a Man United player. But the reality is the guy scored crucial goals for Man United, mostly off the bench last season. And to Erik ten Hag, his mentality, his attitude, his work rate are things he loves to see. So we know that Erik ten Hag likes him, but things are changing now. United wants to have players who are at a whole different class, and Scott McTOMINAY, without a doubt, is not good enough. Now, what we see now is that Fulham are contemplating returning to Man United with another bid for Scott McTOMINAY, who United will value probably for between 30 and 40 million pounds. In between there, that's what I think. Man United will be hoping to get from Fulham. Remember, Fulham were first concentrating on sealing Emil Smith-Rowe from Arsenal, which they have done today. It's a here we go, confirmed, done and dusted. He will be joining for £27 million plus £7 million in add-ons. Arsenal are excited by the payment plan that that Fulham had in place. So they took the deal, and Smith-Rowe already took the plane from the US already to go to London and finalize that move. So that's done. So what they're now focusing on is bringing in Scott McTOMINAY to come and boost Marco Silva's team. And they're expected to take a second bid, an improved bid, that we know will perhaps this time get Man United to listen. Erik ten Hag has been recently talking about Scott McTOMINAY, of course, asked about whether there are indeed links of him leaving, and he says, of course, if a player has scored 10 goals in a season as a midfielder, certainly there will be clubs interested in him. But he seemed to suggest that he wants to keep him. But if you look at the way Erik ten Hag has been selecting his team in the past few preseason games, I think even when Scott McTOMINAY returned, starting this young boy, Toby Collier, ahead of Eriksen and Scott McTOMINAY, I think it was always a sign that perhaps he has this kid in plans. And I think, like I've been saying lately, I think this is the preseason where this kid gets to get a chance to come out there and perhaps show himself. He said it himself that if he's given the opportunity, he wants to show what he can do. And I feel like Scott and Eric will leave, of course, but all the money Man United will get from them might be what they use to sign Manuel Ugarte and then add on Toby Collier as the other player. So perhaps instead of bringing in new midfielders, Man United could let go of two, buy one, and elevate a youngster, because that's a bit of the continuity that INEOS would want to see. Or if there is still money, they can add on a second but still elevate a youngster. That's what I think. I think my feeling is most likely Scott McTominay will be replaced by Ugarte, and Casemiro seems to be a bit silent. I'm honestly a bit surprised that the Casemiro bid is taking long. It's taking a bit long. So maybe it's a more complicated deal, or they probably want to keep him around the way they did, I think, change their minds on Harry Maguire. They want his experience to stay around and to try and support the youngsters. But I believe that either way, even if Casemiro, Scott, and Eriksen leave, I still, and United bring in Ugarte and maybe another midfielder, I still think there should be a plan by Erik Ten Hag to elevate Toby Collier, because that will look like success for them. So that's in terms of course, grooming the youngsters, because this kid joined Man United in 2022 from Brighton and Hove Albion, and he's really showing himself and proving that he could be ripe. The way he gets plays with calmness, with maturity, he's a whole different bowler, and you love to see him. So as it is, the plan is to listen to what Fulham will come up with, what offer do they have put on table, and I think United is really, indeed, like they said before, open to the idea of letting go of Scott McTominay, as of course they let go of other players as well. So it's again a busy, quite a busy few days coming for Manchester United. It's going to be quite a busy few upcoming days, because we expect a couple of departures and arrivals. Of course, the arrivals include that young man, Yosel Mazraoui, who is expected to come in the moment Man United seals an agreement with West Ham over Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So that's what's happening. Now, of course, the divisions are continuing to do with Wan-Bissaka and whether he should leave or not. But I think it has been done. I think there is no change about that. So it's really going to be uh, I think a busy upcoming days for the club. Now, the other thing that you probably need to know is that Man United has poached from Arsenal again. Yes, Man United has poached from Arsenal again. And this time, of course, we know that they could still poach a footballer. Uh, that's Obi Martin from Arsenal. But they have also poached a coach who is and this guy is I think one guy who really stands out, I think, when it comes to being a set piece coach. He's called Andreas Gogson. He's or Jogson, if you call him that, and because he's been at Arsenal before. I'm saying poached from Arsenal because he's been there before, but his recent role was not at Arsenal. He left his role as a Lille Strom head coach to come and become a set piece coach at Manchester United. It's called Andreas Jodson. So you can see that INEOS are really putting together a whole huge team, decentralizing roles so that we probably have a structure. And you can see that we said it before that INEOS were sacking over 250 employees, but not to replace them. They want to bring in more employees who directly impact on the football on the pitch. That's why now they are bringing set piece coaches. They brought all these people around the structure, all these directors of this recruitment and what have you. And then they are bringing assistants, multiple assistants, and retaining some of those who are there, like Steve McLaren. So the plan is for them to focus, and like we've been saying it for a long time, their plan was cut on the so many excesses of employees who work elsewhere and increase on the people who impact directly on the results, because that's where the elephant is. And you probably love how they're attacking it. The decentralization is good. The disquiet was bringing in these too many people when their roles are not defined, and you end up having clashing egos. But it seems they're clear in the roles of the people they are bringing in. So they want to improve marginal gains, improve a little on the set pieces, on the attackers, on the defenders, on the gym, on the training facility, improve a little of so many things. And now they want to build 100,000-seater new stadium. That's what they voted for, not a refurbishing of Old Trafford. They are building a new stadium. So you can see they're doing small things to improve everything around the football so that the marginal gains add up and they end up having a holistic impact on the football of the team. Beautiful stuff, which you'll have to see. My name is Webb. Like, share, subscribe, fam. I'll catch you later. Of course, it's been a day full of so much. You can as well go back in case you're just joining me for the first time. Go back to my previous videos because they do include details, of course, the 5-year terms that Mazraoui agreed with Man United and what we should expect to happen in the coming days at Manchester United. All here on the United Hotspot. Peace, love, and harmony. Let me see you tomorrow.